1 and 5. Yo, that's
Three.
crazy. 1 and 3. Okay. I
No,
mean,
we
there's
three.
still time. We're not going anywhere, but there's still
3 or
3 and
5.
5.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the season
Once they
happened.
get a coach, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Welcome,
Sirianni ain't doing it.
everybody.
Mm.
I'm TL. That's my man Stace. And that's
Yo.
my man Guy. And this is Real Brothers Live. Welcome to our digital neighborhood. And Stace, tell us what's on the menu tonight.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. As I'm talking, as normal, as customary, Terry's gonna put the link out there. So once we get these topics out there, we want you to click on the link and join us. All right, we got 4 topics that we have on the radar, but like if depending on how the conversation goes, it might go longer. We'll push one to the following week, etc. First topic is a holdover from last week, so I guess we'll start with this one. Can people of different religions be united under one cause? Are there pre-qualifications on dating? What's up with Howard, meaning Howard University, and voting matters? Those are gonna be 4 interesting ones. 4 interesting. All right, but first, before we do that, anybody have any randoms?
I don't really have one that I can think of. How about you, Guy? You got a random?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. You gonna end it on that?
Huh?
The information that you found out. Okay.
If we got extra time, we got some time. Yeah, we can do it.
I mean, extra time. I mean, you want to wait?
Yeah, I say wait for the random.
Okay.
It's your random,
All right.
Stace?
Say it again.
That's your random, Stace?
Which one? No, I'll have one.
You ain't got one?
I'm scared to propose.
Oh, we
now.
lunching. We lunching.
Every time I have a regular topic, God turns it into a random, so I'm afraid to say anything now.
Yeah, we can't get to your joint, Stace. We gotta check that and see if that's if we can get to it. We're gonna do our best, Stace.
Yeah, we gonna work on it.
All right.
We get around to it.
That's
All
fair.
Right.
So as we said, we're gonna start on this one. It was one that we had last week, but we didn't get to it. And this was the question, and we'll put it up on the screen. Can people of different religions be united under one cause? Who wants to get started on that? Who wants to get started?
I guess that's kind of my baby right there.
Okay.
Like so I've been trying to we've been trying to get people together, right, to make some real change and not be doing a whole lot of marching and protesting and doing all that, and actually going. And if we were to get everybody united under one black sort of nation or whatever, we will be able to make a lot of change for the better of our community. Like it's a lot that we would be able to accomplish and not have to wait on someone else to give it to us, or someone else to, nobody's coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. Mm-hmm. So if we come together with unity, like I always say, unity is strength,
right? And
then strength equals power, and then power that's when you can make positive change. You can change politics. You can put people in office that really have your best interests have your best interests in mind. And you could have community centers. You can have, there's no limit to what you can do. You know what I mean? Like you can get property, and instead of people complaining about gentrification or whatever, hey, let's build up our own neighborhood, and then nobody won't be able to come in and do the things, and drive up the price. We'll drive up our own market.
So with that being said, like the question is then, do you think it's possible? Do you think that
I do think it's possible.
People, you think so?
I do. Because to be honest with you, like you have to look at the agenda, right? Mm-hmm. Don't nobody care about what religion you in. Don't nobody care about what you call your God. I don't care. You know what I mean? You do you. As long as we can be together and love each other, I don't care what you call whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? That it has to be that way.
Now,
There's too many things that divide us that's bullshit, right? You know, it's too many things that divide us when if we came together as one people, do you know how strong? Can you imagine that?
Absolutely. Now, but this is what my observation on it, or I guess it's a question. It seems like movements die like that. I think and this is very unfortunate. I say that I wish that we could come together, people of different religions and everything come together under one flag and move in one direction. But unfortunately, I think too many times or all too often, human nature creeps in, and eventually everyone wants to be the boss, and everyone has their own. Everyone starts, once a movement gets large enough, people seem to want to snatch a part of it to bring under their umbrella. I think unfortunately that has been why a lot hasn't been done. There's a show on that I want to watch. I think it's some type of documentary, and it was talking about that, and a topic that we talked about, all the black churches.
That really is it. That can be a fallacy as well. Like if everybody is headed towards the same goal, what difference does it make who leads it? Don't make a difference if we're all doing the same thing.
No, but listen, it shouldn't make a difference. But again, when you're talking about human nature, and all too often, to use your term, we use anything that's out there to divide ourselves. Light skin, dark skin, rich and poor, this fraternity and that fraternity.
Let me tell you why I don't believe that, Stace. Do you remember when we went to the Million Man March? Minister Louis Farrakhan is a Muslim.
Now, you know what's funny? I'm gonna say this. Listen to this. I'm gonna say this. I know. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get Guy's opinion. I hesitated to say that, unfortunately, unless there's a charismatic person that can bring everyone together, it normally doesn't happen. I didn't want to say that, but you just said it for me. What's your
Why does it
Guy?
have to be a charismatic person? Why can't it be based on like just
common
black
goals.
education,
Common goals. Agreed.
Common goals.
Terry, I agree with you, but unfortunately, when it does happen, it's normally we focus on that person agreeing with what they said, and that charismatic person has the ability to pull everyone together. What's your feedback, Guy?
What I think is, just to build on what you're saying, you're absolutely right when you mention the term of a charismatic leader. A charismatic leader throughout history has always been, the tip of the spear for effective
good and bad.
Yeah, for good and bad. But there's always been a charismatic leader at the center, whether it was Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Queen Nzinga. There's a number of folks that you can mention. They were all charismatic leaders who were able to, provide that cohesion to that organization to ensure the furtherance of that movement. Now, one thing that I do say, now that's historically, but there's another piece of history in its recent history, and that's with like the Black Lives Matter movement or with the current civil rights movement. With the current civil rights movement and the Black Lives Matter movement and the Me Too movement, there has been no central charismatic figure to those movements leading the charge. What happened was they're so loosely fitting, and I think it's appropriate for the time because I think Black folks in particular have learned over generations not to install a charismatic leader to lead the charge for civil rights or for any cause, because we know now, based on history, that our government has no qualms and no problems about assassinating our charismatic leaders. In addition to that, what we found out over the generations and over hundreds of years is that where there's power, there's corruption.
Right.
And where there's absolute power, there's absolute corruption.
Right.
And so I think that's central to the movements that we're observing now with the removal of the charismatic leader, and we're seeing progress. Which, I'm not a big fan of progress. I want it, and I want it now. But
Right.
you are seeing change take place at a more rapid pace
True.
without that charismatic leader in place. But to answer the question, which is it possible for several religions to come together for one cause? Absolutely. History tells us that, day in and day out. Like you mentioned, the Million Man March. There was no requirement of any specific religion.
Right, and
There was no
that's my
requirement
point. Yeah.
there was only requirement of a gender, and also the rights movements of the 70s and 60s. There was no requirement of a faith. Now there were a couple different faiths involved that worked towards the same goal. Dr. King represented the Christianity. Malcolm X represented Muslim, and then you had the Black Panthers, who didn't necessarily represent any particular religion. However, and I think that goes to TL earlier. We discussed some things earlier in the week about atheism, or folks who don't necessarily practice a religion, because I think the non-practice of a religion is similar to the
religion within itself. It's a belief
of your right. So same thing as you right to your opinion. You also have a right to be quiet. You have a right to your religion. You also have a right not to practice any religion. So I think, absolutely.
Okay. Now,
so you saying that
happen.
Different religions can come together for one cause, or no?
I'm saying they can. And
he said can.
Okay,
and they have.
That's what I
And actually,
let me just ask you all a question, just based on our little conversation just now, right here. Would either one of y'all be willing to die for your people? Like you know how you said like the government will come in and when you bring people together, then they looking at you sideways. You know what I mean? And you to be honest, your life is in danger, right?
For speaking up, yes.
Guy, you had an answer to that? But what I'm saying, would you be willing to die for your people?
Here's my answer to that. I hate the fact that I only have one life to give for my people. Right. I would give 100 lives for my people. I wouldn't give your life, and I wouldn't give Stacy's life. I would give lives that are willing to be given for a cause, and I would give mine over 100 times to further the cause that I stand for. So that's not even a question for me. I wish I had more than one life.
You know what? Now, what I
want to move forward in the direction that I move. I knew that my life, as far as what my life means to me, was no longer the same. I knew that at some point it's likely that I will I may not,
exactly
maybe for the cause.
We might become targets, but I'm me personally, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Now, more than one life to give.
I wouldn't intentionally put my life in danger. I'm not going to do that. I'm not intentionally, but what I'm saying is because I'm saying certain things and doing what I think is the right thing, and some people don't like it, that wouldn't cause me to stop. No. So to answer your question, I guess the answer to the question is yes. But again, like, I'm not going to, I see a bunch of folk out there with guns saying, come out here so we can kill you, basically martyr myself. No.
Hey, listen,
no, it ain't no martyr. I'm talking about if somebody came to my crib like that, you know what I mean? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like some David Koresh type shit. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
What you say, guy?
Depending on the cause that you attach yourself to, you are depending on the cause. Your life, if you attach yourself to some causes require you to give your life to that cause. Not necessarily martyrdom, but to give your life to that cause. And part of that can be you losing your life for certain causes, like for the cause of civil rights, for the cause of equity, for the cause of justice in the United States of America. If you attach yourself to that cause, it's likely that
I think whenever you stand on principle, that comes with it, because that's saying that I think that what I'm doing is right and just, and I'm going to continue to do it, and without fear.
Black
You know,
unity is the principle, though. You know
no,
what I
no,
mean? Like,
I know, but that's why I'm agreeing with it. I think that any principled person that stands on their principle, that they think that they're doing the right thing, they recognize that harm could come along with it, and if that harm comes while you're doing that good work, then yeah. But I was just saying, if I see the people standing there with the gun, I'm not so bold that I'm going to walk out there and confront the person and, like I said, basically martyr myself. No, I'm not talking about that.
hey, you ain't got to walk out there. You got shit travels. You just they just got to be able to be in gun and range.
Yeah, no,
Man,
but I wouldn't, to answer the question though. I'm not going to stop doing what I think is good because people are rumbling about it and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, no. So I would, if
all I'm saying is I'm not going without a fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I would, man, this is my cause. This is my life now. This is it.
And I mean, but also even going against the grain, that's the fight within itself. You know what I mean? You speaking up and speaking out and trying to do the right thing and pissing people off. That's
I don't mind doing that.
That's the fight within itself.
That's my thing.
So yeah, it looks like we all agree with that one. Now, God blanked
off. Looked like we lost God for a second, but he should be right back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, does anybody have any comments that they would like to make on this topic? If they think that maybe we can't, is there a reason that you think that different religions couldn't come together,
right?
For one cause, just to be united and man, we could really own. Man, this a whole. We could really, come back to prominence in this country, just like when we were royalty.
Funny, and guy touched on it, and we all talked about it before. I know that the position is I want it all and I want it now, but like you said, when you just said coming back to prominence, we're climbing, we're making progress. We're making progress. Is it as fast as we want it to be? That's I would say no. I don't think anybody's gonna say
we should wait another 100 years, Stace.
No. All I'm saying is that, like God just said, and I agree, that we are making progress. We're heading back to prominence. We're heading in the right direction.
We have to make our own.
Oh yeah.
We have to make our own progress. We can't wait for progress.
No.
For them.
Nobody said anything about weight. No. Nobody said anything about weight. I guess I'm putting a positive spin on it, saying that with everything that we have going on now, I think that we are making progress, heading back towards that prominence. I mean, I don't even subscribe to we're not prominent. I don't subscribe to that, but I say all that to say that I believe that we are making progress.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna move on. And like Nike said, if anybody, stay blessed and have and beautiful and peaceful. That's one of the Facebook.
Don't leave. Look like they leaving. They leaving. They out.
I can't see a name. Can people? Okay. So and like Terry said, if anybody has something they want to chime in on that topic, feel free to click in as we move on, but you can still bring it up. All right.
I'm going to paste the link in there one more time.
Okay. In the group chat. Okay. Now Sandy says, religions divide, spirituality unites. Yeah, that's kind of what we're saying.
Come on, Sandy. Come on, the link and come on and give us your opinion.
You have a lot of posts to put on. You can.
Yeah, come on come on and give us your
engage us. This platform is to engage.
Right.
All right. So next topic, we can move on. We got: are there pre-qualifications to dating? What's up with Howard? And voting matters. Now vote. Okay.
Before you go on, I just wanted to share something with everybody, if you got a second.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. It's a poem, and it's by Claude McKay. It's called "If We Must Die." You ever heard it?
No.
No, I haven't heard that one.
All right, and it's pretty simple. And this is a poem that I'm a wordsmith, right? And I dig poetry and spoken word. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all know what states. I used to host the Stimulator. I co-hosted the Stimulator open mic deal for about 2 seasons, for 2 years.
Right.
And the poem by Claude McKay, and the poem is simple. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and pinned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, the last sentence was
right.
what you said.
Yeah, you said that shit right there.
No, Terry said that.
No.
Going out without a fight.
Yeah.
No, but I agree.
Say, man, you attach yourself to something like that, there's no way you can't at the point when your back is against the wall, there's nowhere to turn, there's nowhere to go.
Right.
And I think that's where black folks are today. We're at a point where
That's the point.
Man. It's like the thing is, it's like America has black people. We're like feasting on our own people. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like we're eating ourselves, right? Because we so angry about catching hell every freaking day, right? We so angry, and we don't really have anybody to take this anger out, especially when we're clustered together. Only ones that we could take this anger out on is each other. But we have to try to turn this anger outward or inward and
productive
and come together and then project it in a way that's effective to make change for everybody.
I think that's a good lead into this next one. Voting matters. Voting matters.
All right.
This we put a link up. Election is the November the 3rd, Tuesday. A friend of mine, Sharon, put one of the ballot questions that she put up there. I don't have it in front of me to read it. Basically, it sounds like in the state of Pennsylvania, there's a ballot question asking if the state should amend change the charter or something to basically decriminalize marijuana in the state of Pennsylvania for non-medical uses. So when we talk about,
that's a game changer. We got to get people out to the polls because look, you know how many of our black youth get incarcerated over marijuana? You know what I mean? That's so crazy, man.
Right.
We got to make that legal at least.
We put that on the link. So take a look at it, understand it, and you have to go out and vote. Because remember now, a lot of us in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas might feel a certain way, but if those geographic areas don't show up, the people in the middle, which they call Philabama, they win. So
Philabama,
right? Meaning you have a lot of people that don't view things the way you do. That's why they can't pass gun laws in the state of Pennsylvania, things like that, because enough people in those urban
small
centers,
towns.
Well, enough people in the urban centers don't come out and show up, so we can't run the state. So the people that in those that Terry talked about in those small towns, they show up. So this Tuesday, there's a question on the ballot asking if the state of Pennsylvania needs to amend their charter to decriminalize marijuana. If you think that's important, you have to go out and vote. Guy, I know you talk about the criminal justice system and things like that. What are your thoughts on this, man?
On the particular the ballot question, or just
Well,
on
I
voting?
guess the ballot question, and then the larger question about, the importance of voting, the importance of being involved.
Yeah, on the ballot point, listen, they've made marijuana, they've legalized it to a degree in Pennsylvania where, you can go out and get a license to sell for like $500,000, and folks are making profits on a hand over fist. And his brother's in prison right now serving crazy amounts of time. They've been roofed, for doing big numbers, for, simple possession because it was maybe their third strike, or because it was a violation of probation, or whatever the case is. Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's have it. Like, legalize it, decriminalize it. And
Right.
it's on the large issue of voting. Yeah, you got to vote. I mean, I'm a strong proponent of voting, and the Voting Rights Act came about on the heels of a lot of bloodshed, from
Absolutely.
our folks,
Right.
and we gave up a lot to vote. Like, it was people getting lynched and
People
hanged
died
and burned.
so we could vote. Right.
But that's the
Read,
principle.
they wouldn't let you vote if you didn't know, like, every president prior to the date that you were going to go vote. You couldn't vote. And not only that, I don't think you have really a right to complain about shit if you don't vote. So
That's what Laura just said.
I'm all for it. You got to vote.
Right.
Like, if you don't vote, then keep your mouth shut and don't say shit. Sit in the back and chill, and let us do what we do, because your vote counts. You don't want your vote to count, and your voice ain't gonna count either.
And I know it feels like a lot of these a lot of things that people don't see behind the scenes is these people are trying to make it where it's so hard to vote that you like, man, screw it. I ain't going out to vote. I ain't feel like being bothered. But you can't let that deter you. If you got to stand out in line for a couple hours, that's the best couple hours that you could spend
most productive,
putting your vote in. Because if you don't put your vote in, and how can you change stuff, right?
Right.
That's in this system that we have right now, and it probably won't always be like that. But right now, in the system that we currently have, you have to do it the way they do it.
That's right.
You have to come out and vote.
What kills me though?
Yeah.
What kills me is when people talk about they don't want to vote because it's not important. I always ask them, if it's not important, do you think that folk would try so hard and do everything that they can to prevent you and stop you from voting if it wasn't important? Evidently, there's a reason that they're doing it. They don't want you to vote. So when I hear that, personally, I just think that it's a cop out. People are just, I can't justify it. I can't justify, but I look at it as a cop out. I look at that's a person that's looking for a reason not to do something. So anything that they can come up with, they're gonna you give them a good reason, they're gonna come back with something else. So, but to me, it's a cop out because, like I said, if it weren't important, like you said, people died for it. They're passing laws now to make it tough because we are the majority now. And you're gonna
somebody just didn't
anything.
Post in our chat. If Trump comes back, will you vote him in?
No, that's a good question. What are they asking?
Can you hit the link and come on? Because are you asking if we would vote for Trump?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean,
no, it's not a good question at all.
That is a good question. If
would you vote for Trump?
No, I wouldn't. But it's a good question. I would want to ask that person, why would they want to vote for Trump? I mean,
Can you please come on and let us know?
I think that there needs to be representation. We're not a monolith, put it that way. We folk are Republicans, Democrat, independents, libertarians. We're not a monolith. I disagree with their position with all my heart, but I still like to engage them in conversation. Maybe I'll learn something. But look at it this way: if Trump runs again, and we don't come out and vote as a community, we are putting him back in office. That's a vote. A non-vote is a vote.
One thing about Black folks, Stace, is we vote in blocks. We will vote your ass in and we will vote your ass out. And when it comes down to black folks, people know, you're going to probably get a half a mix of, everybody else on either side of the coin.
Right.
But black folks vote, that usually decides the elections.
That's right.
The presidential elections or major elections, national elections.
Right.
So our vote counts.
It does count. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
See, but the challenge that we've all
office right now. Look at Georgia.
Let me say that again. Oh, right. Yeah, yep. Now, but the challenge is that we have always say it again, guy.
I said we're the reason he's not in office.
Correct. By the skin of our teeth.
I'm putting that link back up real quick.
But the problem that we have always had is that on these types of elections, the off years, we don't have, we don't show up. We don't show up. So, hopefully these kind of ballot questions that we just talked about, hopefully that will incite or that will motivate some folk to get out there and vote, because especially people, people that like to smoke, people that smoke, people that have been incarcerated or put in jail as drug charges. Look, this is, we talk about driving down, our folk being locked up. This is where it can start. Get rid of some of these laws. Like somebody said the other day, we know where the drugs are, but the drugs aren't going up in the colleges to search the dorms. So as long as they're going to be in the streets, we need to start, if we can decriminalize some of it so that all these young boys and young people that are out here getting locked up for it, it'll help to water that down some. We need to get out there and vote.
And Stace, I just put it up there on the screen. This is the organization that this is the organization that I belong to and it's for it's an advocacy group for the legalization of marijuana in North Carolina. So if y'all can go and check that out. I also think they have branch offices in other states, but I'm not sure about Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. But
now
yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, we can put it back up. I just want to echo something Sandy said, but I really would like Sandy to come on and express herself. She says we need our own political party. If we band together, we can make things happen. First, we must unite in unstoppable force. Sandy, well, actually, what I would like to question you about is having our own political party. So I wish you would get on.
Let's talk about it, Sandy. Come on and give us a few words on it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, some people might agree with it, some might not. But we would like to hear your thoughts, because, like I said, you put a lot of posts on. But anyway, so join us. All right, so we're gonna move on. We have two left. We have What's Up with Howard, and we have are there pre-qualifications in dating? What's up, guy? Which one, man? What do you want to do?
Let's go with the pre-qual.
Okay. All right.
All right.
What are your thoughts, man? Are there pre-qualifications in dating?
It is.
Go ahead, guy. I'm sorry. First, let me say that we're gonna say it anyway. We all know that we don't speak for everybody. We're always when you have broad, abstract conversations. I don't want anybody to get on and say, "Oh, I don't do that." Well, we're not talking about
because people get sensitive about thinking we're all inclusive. We're speaking, we're not speaking about every individual. We're speaking in generalities, which I know you shouldn't do, but
you have to though. Okay,
all right, in order to have a conversation, right?
All right, what you about to say? Got my mistake.
Yeah, no, I think there are pre-qualifications. I mean, it's weird. It's funny. Dating nowadays, like you hear in the questions that people ask before the date. Like before the date, folks want to know, you got a job, you got a car, what kind of car? You own your house, or where do you live?
Really?
Or what's your shit? People go as far as to ask what your credit score is. They want to know if you got a good relationship with your mom, and all that is cool to know about somebody. I think before you take the next step, like to get married or to commit to a monogamous, committed relationship. But I think, I think nowadays
is this the first date though? You got to have all that information on the first date.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
And the reason I think so, okay, so a lot of people nowadays, like in this generation, right, where the times that we're living in now, virtual dating or virtual meeting is like a major platform for dates. Like just about every single person got at least one dating app on their phone or on their computer or on their tablet or on something. And on those, I shit. At times, I've had multiple dating apps at the same time, 5, 6 of them and shit, and some of them like incognito jumps off, popping off. And yeah, they they ask you a bunch of questions. They do. They want to know like what's your story? Do you drink? What's your religion? They just run a whole game.
They looking for a husband, huh? They ain't looking for a date. They looking for. They got prerequisites and shit.
For a husband, and if you're not husband material, step off. Like they don't even give folks an opportunity to be like, well, let's see if it gets to that, or let me check you out. Let me get to know you a little bit, because it don't matter what a person tells you before the date. If you ain't, they not asking really for proof. They just asking you to tell them this and tell them that. And there's a lot of folks up there that tell you anything. They tell you whatever.
Yo, I thought it was just swipe and smash. I ain't even know that it was like a whole, like you had to have a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where it started.
When you build, got to answer a bunch of girls' questions, and they show up on your profile, and then also in your bio, right. Bios, and maybe even men's. I've never seen a men's bio, but in women's bios, they tell you, like don't fuck with my piece. If you come in here with the fuckboy shit, don't do it. Or I don't want to. They go in, they really do, and it's cool. Yeah. I get it.
See, I ain't never been on one of them Jones. You know what I mean? Just because but
now this, I have a question though. And this is to both of you, because God ran down a litany of items. This is the question, though. 2 things, guy, and I'm just kind of drawing a comparing. When a person asks, "Do you drink?" or about the relationship with your mom, do you put that in the same category as what's your credit score? What kind of car do you drive? Do you put those two together?
You get questions like that on them, John?
Well, God just mentioned that. Now, the reason that I asked that is because I think that asking about the relationship with your mom, or are you close to your family, I still look at that as a getting to know you as the person. How are you as a person? Are you close with your family? I don't view that the same as what kind of car do you drive. Do you put those in the same category?
I do. All that shit is personal. If it's personal, if it ain't something that you can see when you see me, it's personal. It's something that.
I thought you just put like, you you put your picture, then you put like whatever you're interested in, see if y'all interested in the same.
That was on
shit.
MySpace. I think you go back to MySpace.
This is my first adventure with the social media shit.
You go back to MySpace with that.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and keep you. I'm gonna bring you out the cave and show you fire.
Hey, your boy, man. I'm. You know what I mean?
Let him stay there. Now, Sadia said we had our own. Oh wait a minute, no, that was something different.
She's going back to another. She's going back.
Okay, Lynette said it all depends on what you're looking for in a person. Now, again, and I understand now. Okay, Guy, you said that if a person can't see it when they talk to you is private, but asking you about drinking and stuff, they're gonna see that. I don't know if I would consider that a pre-qualification, because that's just me saying, okay, if I don't like being around cigarette smoke, are you a smoker? Because if you're a smoker, I don't want to, we're not going to be able to sit together and rock out together in the same space if you lighting up cigarettes and I'm sitting over there coughing. You know what I mean?
So what is she smoking? Something like a blunt or something?
No. That's a completely different story. But what I'm saying is, we say, God,
Face, you all right? You all right with me, man?
I'm just saying. I mean, no. I'm not saying me personally, but I'm saying I'm using that as an example. When you ask some questions, okay, do you get along with your family? That's something that's me finding out or asking you questions about how you are as a person, I think. So I don't put that in the same category. I don't look at that question the same as what kind of car do you drive, because that's an inviting question. How are you with your family?
I get it. My thing is though, let that be a part of
getting to know.
Let
but
that be
that's my point.
Once we agree that we're at least going to see each other, I'm not giving you all the jewels of my family before I know who you are. Like I might have some damage that you might have too, but I might not be comfortable sharing that with you. You know what I mean? Right. I want to know.
Like you ain't gonna be all talking about my mom's. Well, you know what I mean. And this is our first date. Like, why I gotta tell you? You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
See, but okay, but bringing it back.
Oh, but maybe I'm just old school.
Do you consider those pre-qualifications though? That's what I'm saying. I don't put those in the same category.
I think people do look at that and they ask those questions like, I'm not dating somebody if they had a bad relationship with their parent. I'm not dating somebody they got a certain score. I'm not dating somebody that does have maybe what could be considered mental health issues or whatever. So yeah, I think those are pre-qualification questions, and when you get those pre-qualification questions, I kind of steer away from them joints. Like I'm not being interviewed here for a position in a job. As a matter of fact, I'm the man. I'm going to decide whether or not you're going to be my wife. So you need to be on point answering my motherfucking questions. Because I really
right.
I hear you.
All right, Lynette, can you hear? It's a lot of noise in the background.
Hey, Lynette, can you turn it down? Turn the music down a little bit.
I don't have any music on.
I mean the podcast. There's an echo.
Yeah.
So just talk. Can you just talk to us, or will you be able to hear yourself talk or hear us talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Muted.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we can hear you. What are your thoughts?
I had stated in the comments that y'all don't pay no mind if you can see me. I'm driving, but I got like witch makeup on. So I look really.
Oh, that's right. Halloween, right?
Yeah, I got the little one. I made it a comment. It all depends on what you're looking for. Like I was just saying, like you start asking me questions. Nah. You know that's not what he is gonna accept. But you know he's got. It seems like he has his own way of doing things anyway. He's gonna be the questioner. But it all depends on what you're looking for. You looking for a booty call? All I really want to know is sex practices. How safe are you? Are you clean? You know what I'm saying? How we gonna get down?
Right. Now I think that's important. Yeah, that would be important. But you know what? Will somebody really come back and tell you that? Will a person be honest about that?
I mean, I guess everything that you ask is kind of we're working on a trust thing in all of this interacting. Honestly, if I ask you if you and your mom got a good relationship, you can lie and tell me
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So it's all about right. It's on the honor system, and a lot of people feel that.
You getting pulled over than that?
She about to get pulled over.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
see the flash now. You get pulled over. I was about to hit the gas.
Run.
Right. Yeah, run.
You ain't told anybody on me, did you?
All right, now I'm about to bang on you. How about that? She said, Lynette picking up y'all bad habits. Somebody, am I going to call the cops on it? If you speeding, yes, I am.
You about to call the cops.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's about what you're looking for as far as what type of questions you're going to ask to pre-qualify a person. If I'm just looking for a hangout buddy, I want to know how you drink. You know what I mean? Like what type of hanging are you doing? You know, but you know, it's all about what we're looking for. And I think everything that anybody we place in our life has some pre-qualifying, you know, that they need to do. I don't care if it's a friend, a lover. It doesn't matter because we ask questions to know if we're compatible on whatever level.
Hey, listen, what I say is just don't be a junkie and steal my shit.
Are you on crack?
Like how long you been out the rehab? Is that on there?
If you out the all right, cool, but just don't be in the middle of your addiction.
All right, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Thanks a lot, Lynette. This next one that come up, if you want to hop back on, feel free. All right. Hey, you know what though? I where she took it, I think it was the same thing that Guy was saying. You know, they're always pre-qualifications. I mean, there's some things that we can't you can't tolerate. But when we pose the question though, you know, I wasn't looking at it more in terms of those types of personal questions. I think I was looking at it, you know, a little differently. But you know, I agree with that.
Go ahead, tell us what you were thinking. Like what?
Whoa, get that yarn out. That's the ugly face. The ugly face came up. Well, when we were initially talking about the topic, we were talking about not those types of questions. We were more or less talking about going in, the credit score, you know, the job, you know, what do you do for a living? You know, that's kind of, and actually, I wish we would have asked Lynette about that. Are those are there some pre-qualifications on those types of issues as well? But to your point, Guy, I guess there is. You know, I guess there is. What do you think, Knight?
I don't know. I've been out the game for a minute, but like, you know, I don't know about, you know, all the apps and all that shit, but like if me, you know, my shit, I'm old school. You know, when I see somebody,
just write them a letter.
No, I'm saying
for me.
like I don't know how they do it now, but you know, back in the day, I used to crack in person. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to you through no app or no.
Even though Knight,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rap to you in your face. Like we can go kick it and get some coffee, or we can go to lunch, or whatever. But we're gonna communicate. You know what I'm saying?
I think though with these apps, like everything, you know, it's the good and the bad. The good thing about these apps is it now takes dating outside of the people that you run into on a regular. You know, normally you wouldn't have been able to get a date from anybody from Jersey because 9 times out of 10. No. What I'm saying, like, is throughout a person's daily movement, you don't come across somebody from Atlanta.
Right.
Now
right.
You could go on an app and that's all you might talk to. So you can have everything lined up to go out there and meet someone all through social media.
Too. Yeah. If you're looking for somebody like
right.
It increases your pool. Now you're not in a kiddie pool. You're in the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's an advantage. I mean,
it is. It really is. But
now you get the crazy that comes along with it.
You can get a chance to know a person because you don't know. You really don't know what a person's ulterior motive is online. You don't know that you could fall in love with somebody overseas. I mean, they got shows like that they be watching. You know, Venus be watching. Where overseas some bullshit, getting married and all that, and then when they meet up in person, you know, that shit don't hardly ever work out because you know what I mean. It's like, this is just my personal opinion. Like a person can tell you anything online, right? You could fall in love with a person online, but then you know that person might not be shit. You know what I'm saying?
That could be the same thing.
And that's just called catfishing. People have been doing that ever since the app's been born, and we know our way around that.
Hard to catfish in person.
No, but not the extreme, but you can lie to a person in person
all the damn time.
We say what, Guy?
People catfish you in person all the damn time. You catch
certain people.
Friend, she got on her helmet. She got on all her face paint. She got, you know what I mean?
You call it a helmet?
He said a helmet.
Hey, look, Guy said that.
My dude, that's my dude right there.
Push up and all the other shit in it, and then you get them to the crib, they start wiping that shit off and everything. You ain't getting what you signed up for.
Whoa.
Yeah, you get catfished crazy. Person online, it don't matter.
You can't get catfished in person.
Yeah, I mean, but that makes sense.
Man. That's wild. But it's something totally different, and men do it too. Like know, with a ton of dye on, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And now they even got units for men's hair.
I saw that.
Totally bald dude suddenly have a hair full of wavy hair.
Yeah,
and so they can get catfish too.
Yo, I seen the boy. he was brushing his hair
and wiped it off.
and wiped it off. His
Yeah.
whole joint came off, and the boy was
it
standing back like, yo.
But you know what though? My first thought when I saw that was that, and they kind of changed the game when they first started putting the extra hair in, like for braids and stuff. Now your
it's
hair,
like though,
the whole thing is just it's like clothes now.
Why are people
I
scared
the color
to be
of my
them?
hair? Huh?
You know what I mean? I just don't understand why people are scared to be themselves. Like,
But
or
what,
why
actually,
like
I think
like
that's what I'm saying.
if something happened, let's say I get cancer and I gotta take that what's the
chemo.
Yeah, that shit, right? And I go bald, I'm gonna rock a baldy. I'm gonna rock that shit.
See,
like,
but Nike, but what I'm saying is that nowadays all that stuff is not looked at as, oh, you're doing something fake. Now it's like clothes.
you
Like,
see my hair now?
I said, okay, today I'm wearing this outfit. This wig is gonna be curly. Now Friday night I'm going out with the girls. This wig is gonna be long. It's like it's not even looked at as fake. It's just part of your clothes now.
I'm not saying, but like, I'm just saying, like, the thing is, why not just
like
be you?
natural?
Yeah,
See,
like,
but
I mean,
are they not being them though? That's my point. They don't look at it that way.
yeah, I mean, it's hey, to each his own. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care how you like to look. I don't care how you like to eat. I love you anyway. As long as you love me, I love you. And I don't like
in this rawest form.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as you don't offend me, I'm not going to offend you. So, you know what I mean?
Because all that stuff has to come off eventually.
Right. Because if you want to wear a wig, that's fine. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if one of these days
it's gonna come off,
it's gonna have to come off. So
yeah, no, I agree. And I think, to Guy's point, getting fish in person, I would prefer to see the raw first. So then
somebody say everybody want to be a star.
Well, true. You know what? Too many people want to be stars, and I think that's what it is. So people, do everything
because the media has put out this false illusion that money and fame, you know what? Sometimes that shit is miserable, and you could tell by the way these people that have that fame and money and all that shit. You could tell by their actions that. A lot of times them dudes and women too be miserable because money is only buy you stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Money can't buy you. Right. Money can't buy you a personality.
Right.
Money can't buy you, a real friendship. Money can't buy you, health.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? You still who you are before you got rich.
Now, this person said it's a new generation of women, the new generation of women of today, and I think that's the case. But what happens is, as we know, social media drives everything. So it might start off with these new generation, but before you know it, the older ones doing the same thing. It's like training goes backwards now. Before the older ones showed the young ones
how to do it. Now
the older ones trying to act like the young ones.
It's like act your age, you know what I'm saying? Like age gracefully. How about that?
Well, I don't know about act your age. I don't know.
Your age. How you 45, 50 years old? How you 50 years old, our age, right? And you trying to act like you 21. Come on,
well,
man.
I mean, that
ain't sexy.
But I say act the way you feel. I mean, if you like doing things that 20-year-olds do, now I don't mean the silly stuff. But what if you what if you can still run ball? I mean, what if you can still run? But I'm saying, like what? What are you saying? Don't dance? What is act your age?
I'm not saying. I'm saying act your age. I'm talking how you going out here dressing, how you talking, how you carrying yourself. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women out here trying to carry themselves like they 21.
Oh, okay.
And they come on, like what man that's your age? Huh?
I think men more so than women.
And that's my point.
Yeah, but a lot of people ain't comfortable in their own skin. Yeah, I think a lot of people not comfortable in their own skin.
What you say, Guy?
I said it's women and men. Now we got to call a spade a spade. If we're gonna point at the woman, got
right. Yeah, no, I'm not. I wasn't just talking about women. I'm talking about
period.
People just ain't comfortable being them. You know what I mean? Like they always trying to, I don't know. I'm old.
No, I
school.
get
That's what I guess that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
I don't give a fuck what I look like, and I don't give a fuck what nobody think I look like. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't go
saying?
that far, but I'm not gonna let somebody dictate or make me change who I am.
That's what I'm
for
saying. That's
nothing,
what I'm
man.
saying. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't. Do
All
I
right.
look like I care about my hair? Like,
All
I
right,
mean, I
cool.
care about my hair, but I'm just saying, like, do I look
All
like I
right.
give a shit what people think?
All right, so we're gonna move on to our last topic. What's up with Howard? What's up with Howard?
Yeah, man, that's sad, man.
Terry, you wanna
That's sad. Yeah.
go ahead, Nike. You wanna get us started on this one?
Yeah, so I had seen this this article, and this girl was being a couple girls at the at Howard University were being interviewed, man, and they talking about they living in this well, first of all, if people who may not know about Howard University is supposed to be one of the best HBCUs, historically black universities in the country, like the top, one of the tops. And these girls was laying in the dorm, they like in the activity center with sleeping bags. They don't have no water. They got mold, rats, roaches. Some of them ain't eating. Like, come on, man. If this was Yale or Harvard.
So this was an interview that you saw, Night?
Yeah.
What was the reason that
Howard?
they gave?
Look it up. You think I'm bullshitting? Look it up on
Okay.
it's on. But
What-
see,
what
that's not
reason
all
did they
over the
give,
news
man?
either. Huh?
But what reason did they give? Why did they say they're in that position or predicament? Did they give a reason? Like,
it's no. They didn't give a reason, but they just said administration is not fixing it or asking. They don't even have internet. They didn't even have internet to do their homework and stuff.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Come
All
on, man. Like, they would never let something like that happen to Harvard or Yale
actually, you know what? I
or
think
any of
there are
those
lots of
Ivy League
problems.
schools.
I think the way you worded that, and I'll go to it. But God, what are your thoughts, man? What's up with Howard, man?
I think they experienced some challenges going back a little while. I don't think what Howard is facing right now is something new to Howard. This didn't just happen this year, this semester, or anything. We were talking about something along these lines a few days ago, and I was telling y'all I had applied to Howard University Law School 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. And right at the time I had applied to Howard. Howard is a great school. Listen, I love Howard. I've always wanted to go to HBCU. I was never fortunate enough to go to one. The closest I got was Temple. Temple was by no stretch of HBCU.
No, I was about to say.
And they do,
but it's in North Philly, so you got close to one.
got a lot of activities and support for African American people and people of color. So although it's not that, it did have some elements of it. I would never compare Temple University to HBCU. I was educated there, but like I was saying, circle back to the 4 years ago when I applied to Howard, and right around the time I applied, before I had gotten my results, a story broke about folks in administration stealing money, stealing refund checks from students, and all kinds of foolishness. And that was part of the plight, or I think that may have been part of the beginning of what's happening to Howard University now. Folks over there in administration that was stealing bread. And listen, they're human beings. Just because it's the HBCU, I don't want to hold those folks above reproach. I don't want to hold those people in a higher expectation group than we hold these other colleges and universities. Absolutely. Right? They was folks that made mistakes, but now the students over there paying for those mistakes and any other mistakes they made financially. So yeah, I think it's horrible what's going on down there, Howard. I think they need more funding. I think there needs to be a little more African American over.
I mean, didn't what you call it come from Howard? The vice president? Didn't she go to Howard? Kamala Harris?
I know she went to Stanford Law School, didn't she? She went to one of the big ones. Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, she did. She's the first one. She did.
So like,
I'm not sure which one,
man.
but
like,
yeah, she did.
This is one of our best, supposedly one of our best schools, man. Like, give me a break.
You know, now, God, you said
the tuition there is like $48,000 a year.
more African American leadership. What did you mean by that?
They
Or why
do
you
have
say that?
leadership. What I was saying was I think they need more responsible oversight, and it should come from the African American community. A lot of times when we say oversight, I didn't want people to misunderstand me or take me for something that I didn't say and think I was saying we need more oversight, which automatically translates into white oversight. That's not what I was meaning. I was meaning more oversight from folks in our own communities who are qualified and who have the students' best interests at heart, and not their own pockets and their own personal finance.
This one girl said her parents paid $48,000 and she can't even live in her dorm.
Wow,
that's
like,
come
amazing.
on, man, that's crazy.
That's amazing. Now, actually, Nike, I wanted to double back to something that you said. You said they are not going to let, and I think therein lies the problem. I think that I was expecting to see a little turnaround when the last year, or maybe last year or 2 years ago, one of the highest basketball prospects decided to go to a HBCU, and you started to hear them talk about now how they'll start to reap some of the benefits of television contracts and things like that, because in a lot of those schools, the sports are a big part of where they get their money from. But the HBCUs were always locked out because the bigger programs attracted all of the higher echelon ball players or the athletes. But if you start to get these, and this kind of brings it full circle. When I say we, I think if our athletes and our students start choosing Howard, and even those that maybe can go to a more prestigious school, if they say no, I'm going to go to
start
Howard.
Steering our kids towards our
school. Right.
Yeah, because
that success attracts success. Money attracts money. So if that starts to happen, then you'll start to get the resources there, and like I said, now you get the big contract for the sports program.
The thing is, nobody's going to want to go to a school when it's run down where you can't even live in the dorm. So
it's the catch-22, but it still needs to happen. So the catch-22 is, how do you get it started? Do the kids go there first and the money follows?
We should try to do a live show down there and just see if we could get like some kind of, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, do something. Yeah, charge some money for the school, man.
You can't let Nike do anything. As soon as you see how we could do that too. We could be there.
Hey man, man, I'm about it. How Master P say, I'm about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
if I see a hole, I already tell you. If I see a hole in the wall, I'm gonna try my best to fix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit.
But I think that these types of, and let's be honest though, you talking about institutional defunding also. Those other schools, they have organizations, they have strong alumni associations of people with money. And they have,
I'm saying there's no reason for those schools to look like that.
Right. So that plays a huge part of it as well. I mean,
the enrollment plays a big part too, those states.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of those government, a lot of the government funding is based. They basing it on student enrollment,
population, right? Absolutely,
and all of that. But still, come on, like.
Yeah,
not Howard, man. Come on, man. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the one of the creams of the crop. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna read this one. Lynette said, I saw the interview. The public was giving them hygiene products and items. They said they would rather sleep in a center, in that center, than their nasty dorms. Mold and mildew making them sick. Roaches and mice. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. That's terrible. And nobody said, the thing is, like, nobody's saying anything about it. Like, if this would be Yale or Harvard or like one of those Ivy League schools, that should be all over the news, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Have you heard about anything about Howard?
Listen to this. Actually, listen to this. In that package that they're attempting to pass now has money in it for HBCUs.
Check it out now.
has money in it. And this package that this Build Back Better program that they're trying to pass now, he announced it the other day. There's money in that for HBCUs.
So what they just gonna hold the money? They're gonna hold the money until these kids can't eat. They're gonna hold the money until these kids can't get their education.
It goes back to the first thing we said. Voting matters. So if you want to see, you got to vote for the people that are doing the things you want to see get done. If you're going to vote for the person that's going to go fix all the roads and the bridges in the suburbs and let the city go die, then that's what you'll be living in. You have to vote for the person that's putting the resource and directing the resources to where you want to see them directed. So that's the answer. You have to vote.
But supposedly, if you listen to the media and all that shit, the Democrats had won the presidency and have the House, and they still can't get shit done. So the thing is, like, it's all bullshit. Like,
well, Nike,
they're gonna make you beg and beg and beg, for them to pass this bill and all that shit. Well,
first of all,
we did our part. We put people in office that they supposed to be in there.
Did people receive money? Now we just came, but okay, we had someone in the office before, right? When the pandemic started, right? Right? We had a president and an administration in place when the pandemic started, right?
Agent Orange, yeah.
Okay, how are we doing now compared to where we were before when they were saying put bleach in your arms? Are we doing better?
What that got to do with what we talking about, though?
Just answer the question.
Yeah, yes.
So we're doing better. Okay, so because you said nothing happened. Okay, during the pandemic, when all these businesses, let me rephrase that. During the pandemic, when the country shut down, basically, right? Did people get money?
Yeah.
Okay, my point is those other folk, they'd probably did tax breaks. You had an administration in there that now saying, no, give it to the people. The people need it. The people need help. They passed money. They passed that big 1 point something trillion already. So it's not, they're not doing nothing. And I know that's a double negative.
That's not what we're saying, though, States. We're saying the condition of Howard University shouldn't be that way. It's a shame.
I agree.
It's a shame. Like, there's no excuse about, they get ready to pass this bill, or they get ready to do this and do that.
See, but did you see these kids laying in?
Did you see these kids laying in sleeping bags?
God, do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. And I hear what you're saying too, TL. And when we're talking about politics and who added money to the pot, I think, in all fairness, number 45 did drop a $250 million bill that he signed for HBCU specifically. Like, he really set that money aside. He did. That's
Who did?
On a roll.
Trump.
That wasn't on a one-time drop. So he did more for HBCUs than Obama did for HBCUs.
He did.
Say it ain't so.
By the numbers. As far as resources,
the numbers don't lie. He spent $250 million to HBCUs. And
so somebody skated with that money, huh?
No.
Somebody skated with that money.
I don't know who did what with the money. I know he signed a little bill for $250 million to make sure it was there.
Well, I don't think Howard. I don't think if they got it, it ain't going where it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Well, we said that was a problem with Howard back to 2018 when the administration was stealing money from the kids and they refunds and all kinds of weird shit was going on. You had folks down there walking out of there hundreds of thousands of dollars in their pocket that should have gone to the school, should have gone to the students. Students running around wondering why they can't get their tuition taken care of. They got these loans. All kinds of weird shit was going on down there with that bread back in 2018. It was the early part of 2018.
That's terrible. All right, y'all. I think we hit all of our topics, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Somebody said, "What's wrong with the dorms?" As the person said, "What's wrong with the dorms?" As they mentioned that they did an interview. I think it's probably on YouTube. You can take a look at it. They were talking about the conditions in the dorms at Howard University. So take a peep at it. God, did you had something that you wanted to speak on?
No, we was going to decide if we had time for your random or not.
Did you have one, State? Did you came up with one? You come
I
up with
didn't.
one?
No, but Guy had something that he wanted to talk about with Scepter as he related to Scepter.
Oh yeah, I wanted to just let everybody know. We had a conversation a couple weeks back. We on our show. One of the topics was those folks who who were reported to not have done anything other than stand by and watch a woman who was sexually assaulted, raped on a SEPTA train on the L train, on the L, the Market Frankfurt L train. And the police commissioner of Upper Darby came out with a statement that indicated that there was, after a review, there was no evidence that supported the claim that there were people on that train that witnessed that rape, recorded it or otherwise. There were no other persons on that train. And I felt like I just felt like I needed to come back and just say, you know,
that wasn't that how it was reported?
It was, but we smart enough to know we can't believe what's in the media. The media have been portraying us as criminals for decades, for 250 years. So we can't always believe what how the media portrays us.
And the facts still remain though, and Guy felt it important, as we both did, we all did, that if we talk about a subject, this podcast is organic and it's live. Meaning, if we talk about an issue and that issue changes, then we should come back and put the additional facts out. Because that definitely changes the conversation. So Guy, go ahead, Guy.
I wanted to just read the statement that was made by the Delaware County District Attorney Jack Stolsteiner. What he said was, when they asked if there was proof that anyone was on that train, he said, that is simply not true. It did not happen. We have security video from SEPTA that shows that is not the true narrative.
Wow.
So there were no people on that train.
That's profound.
That was something advised by SEPTA and by Philly police to put to do the same thing that Donald Trump did to Philadelphia, telling everybody bad things happen in Philadelphia.
Right, yeah.
That folks try to portray Philadelphians as some evil, non-caring, callous.
So that was like a political move, then, maybe.
Right.
No,
so
I mean,
I just thought it was important that we go back to that, and we just if it's not true, then I just felt like it was necessary for us to say, hey, from the latest account, that wasn't true, that wasn't factual.
Because if we're gonna put it out there, we got we got to stand behind
put it out the right way. That's right. You got to stand behind it.
True.
And I will say this, because we all thought it was disgusting that the thought that somebody would stand by and videotape, and we thought it was unbelievable. And that somebody would stand by and witness a woman be assaulted. So in a weird kind of way, I'm glad we did put that out there. It should be out there. Although I did see a video the other day where boy smacked the crap out of a lady on sub. Yeah, sub. I mean,
damn.
Yeah, I mean, full of car. Now the people standing around him, and he's talking loud. He said, "Say something else," and she said it. He smacked her. Mind your business. It was
but the thing is, so our show, even though it didn't happen, it still gets the point across that if you see something, like you said, Stace, something, say something, or better yet, do something.
Do something. And again, that doesn't mean if you don't feel comfortable being involved yourself, then you involve yourself another way.
I know. Here it comes. 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 Here it comes.
3 numbers. 3 is the magic number.
I knew he's going there. I knew he's about to be like 911.
If you don't stop, hit this.
That's his shit right there. Yo, I can't rock with that, Steve.
But as I said, man, do at night. We found the middle ground. If like Nike and Guy, if you don't feel comfortable calling the authorities or the police, do something else. But the fact we all agree, for you to do nothing is inexcusable. That we have to do something. We have to get out of that mind frame.
Did nobody say nothing to the boy when he slapped the girl?
Nothing, Nike.
Now that's just us talking in our community. We think that we should do something. We all agree, but I think we should also understand that there is no law that requires one citizen to stand and help another citizen.
True.
However, there are laws that protect people who do, which are the Good Samaritan laws. And those Good Samaritan laws say, if there is harm, if someone is harmed while you're protecting or you're doing something.
How about just having a conscience, like you know what I mean, or just having like
them folks for not helping. If they don't help, they don't help. But we are of a different mindset. Boom.
Yeah, like
yeah. All right.
I hope it never happens. I hope it doesn't happen. Never happens. In my anyway. Yeah, my presence.
All right, but it still allowed us to stir the topic that needed to be addressed. Right. Correct.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so.
That's why we felt the need to put it. All right, what's this long one? We're gonna read this one. Oh, wait a minute.
Y'all stay safe and blessed and strong and peaceful as we continue to pray and blanket our hearts around,
the whole time. Boop. Never mind. They been, I don't know what that was. I think that might be spam. No.
Right.
All right.
No,
anyway.
I don't think it's spam, but you know what I mean.
Okay. All right.
Anybody got any parting words? You got any parting words, Stace?
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to get on the phone and tell a friend, let them know that we're here, Real Brothers. Check us out on all the major platforms. Don't forget to please subscribe on YouTube. And I look forward to talking to y'all next week. If you have any things that you would like to see us discuss, please put them in the group chat, and we get together on Thursdays to talk about the subject. So please give us topics if you have items.
And my parting words would be thank you everybody for tuning in. The podcast and the movement is growing. We really appreciate y'all, and we all are in this together. So one of the top, when we brought that topic up, that's kind of what we don't care, about religion and whatever that things that separate us. We're inclusive of everybody. Your only qualification is, it really is no qualification.
No pre-qualification.
You're a real brother. You're a real brother. Real sister. Whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All
yeah.
Right.
So my last thing is, so we're gonna be broadcasting live in Philly on the 14th. So if y'all want to come out and support, where are we gonna be, Stace?
We're planning on doing it at the Rec Philly. Rec Philly is in the gallery. Oh, did we tell a guy that?
No, y'all told me now. Thanks.
Like, wait a minute. I scratch that.
My bad. No, scratch that. Yeah, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't be at this joint.
Let y'all know when we're gonna be late.
All right, but I'm gonna be in Philly on the weekend or the 13th and the 14th.
Right.
So you know what I mean. Get with me. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean, hit me up. I'm gonna be in town. So we're gonna try to hook up a live show for everybody. We want to see y'all come out and support, and that's about it.
What's up, guy?
Thank you for joining our digital neighborhood. You know what I mean?
In the spirit of a bunch of our fallen soldiers, I just wanted to remind folks we can't forget about some folks, and I wanted to say their names: Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Orlando Castillo, Amadou Diallo, Wallace Walker Jr., and just a whole host of folks. And I just think we want to continue to say their names. We don't want to forget their names.
Right.
And that's all I wanted to do today, was just remind us that we got to keep saying their names, and we can't forget them.
You could have named them all. We'd have been here all night.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
That just popped off my head. So
it's a shame.
Next time, hey God, next time we're gonna let you go first, because then you set the tone, then me and Nike can bring it in. Cause we like, all right, y'all, we gonna give a shout out to this person. God, like all the soldiers. Hey God, man. We'll give a shout out. All right, y'all. We talk to y'all next week, man. We'll give a shout out to all the followers. Hey God, man. You going first next time. All
right, man. We holler at y'all next week. Everybody see y'all same time, same channel. All right, bye.
Peace.
All right.